available for patrons who are interested in diving deep into this topic of self-worth. And know your worth, and know that people who say your price is too high, your standards are too high, I can get this cheaper somewhere else, I can get more for less elsewhere. Bye, go elsewhere. If you're interested in hearing another half an hour worth of this topic, join me. The takeaway of the video is don't chase clients, don't chase friends, don't chase relationships, don't chase approval. Don't chase people or beg people or try to rearrange yourself to get others to approve of you. Do not try to rearrange yourself to get the approval of those who disapprove of you. There will always be someone who wants more for less. There will always be somebody who doesn't want to pay what you're charging. And like I heard the professional organizer Holly Southerland say, when she raises her rates, a lot of those haggling customers who want more for less, who think you're overcharging, who don't value the work that you're putting into what's in the fee, they tend to fall away. Would I rather try to satisfy a bunch of cheap-ass people who want more for less, or would my own feeling of self-worth and produce what I'm producing out of sincere, genuine, this is really what I'm making, and then the people who are able and willing to pay my fee can step up and pay my fee? That's what I prefer. So there's always going to be someone trying to tell you that you're not worth that high fee, but that's just because either they don't want to pay it. Very easy for people who don't create to criticize those who do. And it's just so interesting to me that somebody who
zero content, not one single video,
can come and judge. And the problem is that when we don't have belief in our self-worth, that one person can make you believe that you're not worth what you're worth. But this is to say, hey, I have plenty of hundreds of free videos you can watch. I have a $5 tier. I have low fee tiers available. And what I said to this person in the comment was, stop complaining that I also have a higher level tier, you know? And then I also said, imagine walking into any place of business, looking at the prices, complaining that the prices are too high, demanding that they should be less, and expecting, saying, I want to get, you're charging what? Now, I work at a florist, and there's times when people come in and they don't want to pay the price. Guess what? And then they don't. There was a day not that long ago, a woman came in and she said, you're charging this amount for this? She said, I could get this similar thing cheaper at the supermarket. And I said, yes, you probably can. And then she ended up buying it, and I made it nice for her and everything. And then when she was leaving, she said, oh, I hope I didn't mean to offend you about saying that I could get it cheaper somewhere else. And I said, I wasn't offended at all. I said, you can get it cheaper somewhere else. That's the reality, you know. I'm just saying that there are things that you can get cheaper somewhere else. Then there was another man, he came in, and the place he wanted to get something was closed. And then he said, you know, is it something that you can get here? And I was honest, and I said, you know, we could do that, but most likely we're going to end up having to charge you more. For us having to go there and get it and then bring it here and have it in stock and have you, you know, pay for it, and the convenience that we've already gone and gotten it from the place and all that stuff, that comes with added fees. That means we're going to charge you more for the same thing that you could get a little cheaper if you go down the road and get it. You know, a lot of people do not understand anything about what it takes to make stuff. You know, it's like When I used to work at the restaurant, we had prices for stuff. If you come in and you order stuff, that's the price. But if you ordered it online and had to be packaged up in a different way so it could be driven to you, then that costs a little bit more. You see, people often have no idea what they are paying for or how much is involved. You know, for someone else who might have, 2 million followers, they might be able to say, I can put this video out and charge less because I'm going to sell 150,000 copies, and so therefore it's going to work out. Where someone like me, this person, this commenter, you'll win a lot more people if you do this. Yeah, but I don't want to do that. Maybe I don't want to have 5,000 people that I have to churn out stuff for. And, I have to work 10 times harder to get a bunch more people paying less. Sometimes having a few people who are willing to pay more is better for me. That's the whole point. Everybody gets to decide what they want to do. Some people want to make jewelry and they want to use the absolute cheapest materials they can and sell it for the absolute cheapest they can and sell bulk for cheap. Other people want to use very high-end materials and they take a long time to create something, and then they have one thing that is extremely expensive. Okay, so it's not always churning out a bunch of stuff for cheap. And items or things that are unique, one of a kind, typically cost more. When something is a unique one of a kind, it's going to be more expensive. When you can mass produce things in bulk, they tend to be cheaper than when something is handcrafted or made with much more care and time, and there's so many things involved that the consumer often does not know. Sometimes you do. Sometimes a consumer is also a very intelligent consumer, and that's great. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. That's also fine. That is the best thing. And not everybody's trying to win a bunch of cheap-ass customers or win a bunch of, I'm not out here desperately trying to win people to like me. That's the whole point. I'm making the content that I'm making for me. And I am setting the fees according to what I think each thing is worth. And that's what I get to do. So if you want to come into my store, you're free. You're free to look at the window. Look through the window for free. There's things in the window for free. There's a lot of things in the window for free. And if you like what you see in the window for free, then you can step in and you can take a bite. You can take a snack. You can pay a little bit. Then you can pay a little bit more if you want a little bit more. And just like anywhere, you want to sit down in a restaurant and order one little appetizer, it's going to be cheaper than if you order a whole meal and some drinks and dessert. Okay? So you want to come in and you want to have a 7-course meal and you want to get all the best stuff and you want to get my most precious goodies, you got to pay the most precious price. Okay? So if you want to get the cheaper thing that's cheaper down the road, go down the road and get it. Nobody's stopping you, honey. I'm not begging anybody for their business. I'm not begging you for your patronage. I'm not begging you for your funds. If you want to come in and patronize me, great. If you want to get the higher level tier videos, great. That's how it is for anyone, any kind of business. When you go to the flower shop, if you want to spend $20, you're going to get a small bouquet that's $20. If you want to spend $300 on an arrangement, you are going to get a much higher level arrangement. That's just the way things work. So please stop going on people's places of business, whether it's an online thing or in person, and telling them that you don't like their prices, that you think they should be cheaper. You literally have no idea what their mortgage is, what their rent is, there are places that, like even chain stores, like Home Depot, for example. If you drive to a Home Depot in a more expensive neighborhood, you're going to pay a higher price for the same exact item than if you were to drive to a different Home Depot in a more economically affordable neighborhood. Why? Because everything has to be included in the price. Okay? So please stop trying to haggle people down. If you don't like the price there, go find it somewhere else. That's the whole thing. It's like, I might pay $30 more for it here, or I could drive 2 hours extra to go get it somewhere else, and that's gas money and time and all this stuff. So, you have to add it up. When I go shopping now, I don't have a car, and I haven't been walking with a stroller anymore, like in the last year and a half. So guess what? I pay a driver, and I get to set the tip. And I always do the most that I possibly can manage. Why? Because I want to make it worth that person's while. You're the one driving to the store, picking up all my packages, getting it here safely, making sure I get all my packages on the porch. So I'm paying you for that. Why? Because I don't want to be a cheap-ass motherfucker. I don't want to be a cheap-ass motherfucker. So if you want the high-end goods, pay the high-end price. If you can't afford the high-end price, then browse for free. Or pay the $5 and get what's $5. You know what I'm saying? Don't go into a restaurant expecting a full course meal, but thinking you're going to pay $2. Okay? So that's just my little thing for the day. If you don't like a price, go elsewhere. Sometimes you will find a better deal for less somewhere else, and it's on you to do that, okay? And sometimes somebody is charging more than they really should for something that is not of value, and then you get to say, hey, I don't like this store, I don't like this creator, I don't like this content creator. Whatever it is, they get to make what they're making, you get to move on, take it or leave it, pay for it or not. That's life. That's the lovely system. That is the beauty. That's the beauty of it all. What I am creating is me. It's me and it's mine. What I put out there is my own creation, and it has to do with me. So no one else can be me. No one else is going to have the authenticity of me except for me. Other people will have their own authenticity and be their own genuine selves. That's the whole beauty of the freedom to decide who you're going to support, what you're going to pay for, and what you're not. Each person, each consumer gets to decide, I only want the free version. Or you know what? I want more. I want the longer video. I want the more intimate talk. I want more in-depth. I want the higher quality. I want that full-length feature. You can watch the preview, a 2 or 3 minute preview trailer of a movie for free, and you can watch it 100 times for free. But most of the time, if you want to watch that movie, you have to pay for it. Now, someone might say, well, I can watch an entire feature-length film, a 190-minute film, I can watch for $4.99. But guess what? That's what that place can charge. Do you understand? If you're going to make 5 million sales, maybe when you do the calculations, you say, hey, I can charge $19.99 and make $5 million sales. But the person who's only going to sell a few has to charge more. It's just like I said to that woman about the grocery store being able to charge less for flowers. Now, are they the same exact quality? I don't know. I haven't gone to the grocery store and bought those flowers and compared them to the ones that we have. But the fact is, that grocery store has its own grower. And I don't mean Bob down the street. I mean a gigantic multi-state grower, multi-country grower, and a relationship with, the warehouse from the field to the warehouse and the transport and all this stuff. So this mega giant chain of supermarkets can charge a fraction of the cost for a flower per stem than we do, because we have a high rent for our little shop and we only get 1/1000th of the amount of flowers. So of course we have to pay more. So a lot of times something that's mega huge and you can get thousands or millions of, it will be cheaper, because that's just the way it is. Where one little person who's working on her time by herself for free, every single minute that I put into working on these things, I'm doing for free. So when I turn around and I post a variety of tiers, levels on my Patreon, the people who can pay to support me get to see the fruits of my hard-earned labor. And if you like it, great. If you repeat, great. Somebody also commented, don't you want more than 8 patrons? Yeah, sure, I'd love to, but I'm not going to cater everything I do in the hope of winning over a bunch of cheap-ass people. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying, that's just not how my mind works. I have to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, the way I can do it, and create what I can create. And I absolutely love and adore the patrons who are able to patronize me, who are able to support me, who understand that, you know what, you can go on porn sites for free and literally see every single thing you could imagine for free. You can do that if you want to. You don't want to see me stretching my grandma panties? Then hey, don't. Guess what? I'm wearing grandma panties that moment, and that's what the fuck I can do. Okay? So I'm not trying to win people over or impress people or to fit into somebody else's notion of what it should be. I'm being me, authentic and real. And I invite you to enjoy. Just like on this channel where I'm posting this video of me talking, I have tons of videos where I talk, and some of them I share a few minutes for free, and the rest, if you want to see the whole long video of me talking, then you can join and support. That's just the way it goes.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way the coffee is me. Okay, so with my corny metaphors, see you.
And I add that sometimes the opinion of a stranger, sometimes it's your own family or friends, your so-called best friend, or your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend or your partner, that's the one putting you down. And I'm going to link my article about that if you're interested in hearing more on this. But that person's, those two commenters just sparked me the desire to make this little video talking about allowing yourself to believe in your own self-worth and knowing that not everybody is going to see the value that you see in yourself. And yes, let's do healthy, genuine self-reflection, introspection, and be honest with ourselves. But at the same time, let's not allow naysayers or those who are criticizing us but don't know what we're putting into it, or someone saying no to us who's not that's not your person, that's not your partner, that's not your client, that's not your love, that's not your mate, that's not actually your best friend, that's not your path of abundance. So it's okay. Sometimes we need to, and actually all the time, we need to be able to turn away the wrong people. There are people who call the flower shop and they turn out not to be our customer. There are people who used to call the restaurant and they turned out not to be our customer. Every business has that. Every endeavor has that. Every relationship has that. Sometimes relationships last a long time and they go really well, and then they stop being mutually beneficial or desired. Sometimes you try it out once and you don't like it. Whatever the case is, allow yourself to believe in your own self-worth, and don't let those who want to tear you down because they can't get more for less be the ones to tell you that you're doing it wrong. Don't let the people who want you to give them everything you've created for free the right to make you feel bad because what you're creating is not up to their standards, or what you're charging is more than they're willing or able to pay. The right clients, the right customers, the right friends, the right love will want you because they will see your own inherent value. And like Teal Swan said, you can't make somebody see the value in something or the excellence in something that they do not value. If it's not to their liking, or it's not whatever they want it to be, then they can't see the excellence of it. But you don't need to worry about trying to make everybody think you're great. You just be authentic, and the people who are actually well matched and aligned with that will step forward. That's what I'm doing. With friendship, with romance, with clients, with Patreon. I'd rather have 8 people who sign up because they like what they get, they love what they get, and they can afford to pay whatever they are paying, than me running myself ragged trying to get everybody. I don't need everybody. I just need the ones that are well matched. And that is my wish. If you've got the skills, the knowledge, the resources, the know-how, you know where to go get that stuff cheaper. You know where to drive to go get some flowers much cheaper. You know where to go get a vase cheaper. You have the time, the skills, the energy to put it together yourself. You can do it yourself better, cheaper. Go ahead, do it. You have a better option somewhere else. Take it. This is true for anything, whether this is a business thing, whether this is a friendship thing. You have a better friend that you like more, who is a better fit for you and more naturally clicks with you and connects with you and is more naturally connected to you and well matched. Great. Go with that friend. You've got another channel. You have another channel who produces videos that are similar to the ones that I do, but you like that person's personality better, or you like their video production quality better, or maybe you like their body better. Maybe they're more fit than I am. Maybe they have a better quality camera. Maybe their stuff is more polished. You see, the thing is, I produce what I produce, and I am who I am. I am the messy, authentic me that I am. I am the me who has jiggles and wiggles and cellulite and lumps and bumps and kids and a cracked camera and, a laptop I got for free and barely making it, scraping by week after week, but doing my best. That's me. I'm the one who's been through my life experience. I'm the one over here right now. This is the me making this video, editing it, putting it together, taking the time that it takes me. I'm the one who's going to be the one in this person's life if I'm going to be the one in your life. If what you want isn't what I've got, then I can't give it to you. I can't give you somebody else. I can't be the person who's chasing hundreds and hundreds of people who want to pay me $25. If somebody wants to set up a website where people pay $25, they get access to everything you create, great. That's what they get to do. But if somebody else like me is creating the content that I'm creating and you don't like it, then don't subscribe. Don't pay. See, one thing that I'm proud of about myself is I'm not out there trying to solicit people to come and love me who don't. I'm not out there trying to drum up business. I'm not cold calling people. Hey, subscribe to my channel and patronize me. I'm not doing that. I'm over here minding my own business, living my own life, being my own authentic self, flaws and all, imperfections and all, challenges and needs to grow and all that stuff and all, and offering it out there as an offering. If you like my free content, great. If you like my free content but you want more but you can't afford it, I'm sorry. When you can afford it, then you can. There's lots of stuff I wish I could afford that I would love to have, like a much bigger house, and a house that's mine, not just rent, and a much bigger yard, and I'd actually love it if I had a vehicle and a place where I could park that vehicle without having to be 2 or 3 cars deep in a narrow-ass driveway if I had a car at all. And I'd like more shoes and all kinds of stuff I'd love. I would love a bunch of stuff I don't have that I can't afford. But does that mean that the people who are out there preparing it and offering it and making it shouldn't sell it for what they're selling it for because I can't afford it? No. Just like you want anything, you got to be able to afford it. You want that loving relationship, then you've got to be able to be in a loving relationship and be a loving partner. Otherwise, you're not going to have a loving partner. You want to be loved, you've got to be willing to be loved. You've got to be willing to be loving. You want something for nothing? You'll probably find somebody to give it to you, but you know what? It's probably going to be a whole lot of headache that ain't worth dick. Thank you for the inspiration to make this video, and hope that this inspires somebody to be more authentic, be more genuine, be more yourself, and don't worry about those naysayers. There's always going to be somebody out there ripping you down. And the more successful you get, the more people probably going to rip you down. That's just the nature of success. So I'm building up my confidence and building up my strength to keep moving forward in my big old granny panties. Bye. They're so cozy. Takeaway of the video is don't chase clients, don't chase friends, don't chase relationships, don't chase approval. Don't chase people or beg people or try to rearrange yourself to get others to approve of you. Do not try to rearrange yourself to get the approval of those who disapprove of you. When you get that client who you had to fight hard to get because they didn't really want to spend the money, you're going to be miserable. They're going to want so much more than you can give for so much less than you deserve. If you get that friend, that person to spend time with you who doesn't really want to, you're going to feel undervalued. If you get that person to date you who doesn't really want what you want, who's not really well matched with you, who thinks that you need to change in order to be a better person because they don't value you the way you are as is, then I promise you will be miserable when you are in that relationship with them. If we could just truly allow ourselves to know that this is the truth, you will be unhappy. We are going to be unhappy in these relationships with people who don't really want to be in relationship with us. Whether it's a client, a friend, a lover, a partner of any kind, we will save ourselves a lot of heartache. Be your most authentic self, and those who are well matched with you will rise up. Allow yourself to grow, but not based on the criticism of those who are ill matched and not actually well suited to help you see your best self anyway. When someone else does not have the skills, the resources, the knowledge, the ability to do something that they want themselves, and then they want to criticize someone who's doing it for what they're charging. That's a type of criticism that we often have to let go. I was previously guilty of thinking things were more expensive than they should be. Sometimes things are. Sometimes things are more expensive than they should be. And sometimes there's a lot of expenses going into the price that you're not aware of. And also, when it comes to believing in our own self-worth, for example, my sister's friend has this habit of dating married men, separated married men, and not realizing that her claimed desire of having a truly loving, committed, real relationship is not going to happen if she's going after someone who's already married. So, if and when she decides, you know what, I truly want only an available person, then she has to raise her level of her standard of the type of man that she's willing to date or give time to. So when she says, hey, if you're still technically married, I'm not going to consider you. The people who maybe were like, what do you mean? It was fine for you before. You know, I'm trying to equate this to like a higher fee, you know. Sometimes somebody will say, well, hey, I was able to get more for less before. Your videos didn't cost this much money last time. Or you didn't have those boundaries for yourself before. Why can't I still get the same freebies I used to get? Maybe you used to give things away for free because you were just starting and you were just trying to figure yourself out. Maybe you had poor boundaries and low self-esteem and a low sense of self-worth, so you didn't charge enough, or you accepted behavior from people that you really shouldn't have. No matter what it is, if you know that you want something of high value, or you know that you've put in all your time and energy, you get to decide, not others. If you spent a lot of time and energy and effort into something and you feel that it's worth the price you're asking, don't let someone who doesn't think it's worth it or can't afford it convince you to take less. Just like you truly want to be loved in a valid, loving, healthy way, don't allow another person who's incapable of loving you in a healthy way convince you that you should accept less. Don't let that married guy talk you into accepting this side chick thing with him because he's not willing to give you more, so that convinces you you don't deserve more. I'm not going to try to bend and twist my boundaries to satisfy people who... The sad truth and reality is that oftentimes people tell us that what we want is unreasonable because they are not able to give it, not because it's unreasonable. Sometimes someone that you desire to be in a relationship with who's not capable of loving you the way you need and deserve and want will tell you that what you need and deserve is not reasonable. It's not what you deserve, or it's not an acceptable thing to ask for. Sometimes people who do not love you for who you are will try to convince you that you're not lovable the way you are, that you need to change who you are in order to be lovable. But it's not always true. A lot of times it's just that they are not capable of loving you as you. So instead of accepting that, and moving on, being alone, or being without you. They try to get you to give up what you want because they don't like it or because they're not capable. Or sometimes with clients, potential clients, they don't have the money to pay what you're asking. So they try to convince you that you're the one who's being unreasonable. And maybe they can show you examples of something similar, something like what you're doing that costs less. But the thing is, if you want that, then go get that. You know? And I am saying this to myself because I need to remind myself of this. I need to remind myself that the man who I might think is so great, but who has zero ability or desire to invest his time in me romantically, he's not that great. In fact, he's not great at all. You know? Like I said already, when we are desperate to get this thing that is desperate to not be had, or a person or a friendship or some kind of agreement where that other party is not actually on board with what we want, then that's when you end up in these extremely unhealthy, unhappy situations. These ill-matched situations that we try to force ourselves or the other into that do not match. And it's never going to be well-matched because it's not well-matched. And that's what I'm hoping for myself to learn. And by talking about it on a video like this, maybe it will inspire another, help another, teach another, save another, inspire another to just be true to yourself, knowing that if you believe that you need to do the work on yourself, then do the work. If the criticism rings true, if you believe that the thing the person is saying to you is more of a truth than what you think is true, then lower your price, lower your standard, lower your expectation. But when you lower your standard and your price and your expectation, not because they're correct, but because you're desperate. You know you shouldn't date that unavailable man, but you're desperate to be held or desperate for attention and affection and sex and whatever it is, desperate for somebody to talk to, and you say, well, I'll go out with this guy because even though it's obvious he's not really available, he's desperate, I'm desperate, so I'm just going to blindly jump into this thing that it's obvious. Or the client who's nitpicking you before they're even actually a client, and you have all these red flags like, this person wants way more than I can deliver for way less than it costs. I'm going to lose money on this client if I take this client. But you go ahead and you take it anyway, and then you beat yourself up for literally losing money because you took the client that you shouldn't have taken. Or you get up in the relationship that they're telling you from day one they don't want what you want. They're lonely and, need affection. But they have no interest or desire or capacity to be a true partner. To be monogamous, exclusive, and real and build something. Hey, I'll fuck you if you want to fuck. I don't want any of those real things you want, but if you want to fuck, I'll fuck as long as you know that you're fucking me for nothing. And you get involved with this person, and 5 years later, you wonder why they're not happy, they're not proposing, they're not in love with you, and you're like, I invested everything in you, and I can't believe you still are saying the same shit you said when we met 5 years ago. And they're like, I can't believe that I've been saying the same thing for 5 years, and you somehow thought that I would suddenly change my mind. And now you're crying victim. You're telling me you wasted all this time when you knew damn well what I was saying the whole time, and you thought I was going to change. No. It's like the employer who says, I can only pay you X amount of money, and you know damn well it's not enough, and you think after all these years of loyalty they're going to give you this raise and it's going to be amazing, and after 5 years of loyalty you're like, I can't believe you never gave me a raise, and they're like, you knew I was a cheap motherfucker on the day you came on your interview. But some people are so afraid, they don't believe in their own self-worth, that they'll take that low-paying job. They'll take that shitty-ass, half-assed relationship that's not really a relationship, it's a situationship, bullshit entanglement. They'll take way less than they should. They'll spend all their time and energy and effort into it and then be pissed off that it ain't shit after they invested all this time and energy, when they knew damn well, I knew damn well in the beginning that it was exactly the ain't shit that it ain't. But I didn't listen to the obvious. I was hoping and praying it would be something different. This is the call and the message to say, don't settle for that less than bullshit because you're afraid and you don't believe your worth. Believe in your worth and you'll be happier even if it takes longer to get there. That's the message. Anybody wanting all your precious jewels, all your best of your best, your nights, your time, your attention, your love, your emotions, your thoughts, your body, you have a right. I have a right to set my boundaries and standards of what I think is acceptable, what I believe I'm worth. And just as I have a right to set my price and set my boundaries and intentionally repel those who are not, those who are going to see my price and say, I'm not paying that. Good. Please be rejected. Those who are going to say, she wants what? She wants monogamy, exclusivity, commitment, life partnership. She wants me to care about her children. She wants me to care about her. She wants me to care about her happiness. She wants me to care about my own happiness. She wants me to believe in thoughts become things and the thought exchange and all this stuff. Great. You're a meat-eating, dairy-eating person who loves sports and doesn't care about energy and manifestation and art and music and dance. Poof, be gone. I want you to be repelled. I want you to recoil. I want my granny panties and extreme version of living my own damn life to repel those who do not match up. You see? If we would be more willing to quickly repel and reject those who are poorly matched for us, we could save everybody a lot of time. You can see on my free 2-minute and a half video that this isn't for you. You don't think it's worth your time or money that you want to invest in. Great. Don't. You just saved me a headache. You know? Peace and love to you. May you be free of suffering, and the root of suffering, may you know happiness and the root of happiness. I'm sharing this for free today, and we'll see. Maybe I'll keep it free, or maybe I'll add it to my Patreon videos. Who knows? Bye. Okay, that's it. Bye.
See you next time. Bye.